everybody! Today I'm going to be doing a flip through of the first month ever in my bullet journal. So that's for November 2016. I've never done a bullet journal before, but I started out with the Leuchtturm 1917. It's the most popular kind. Excuse me. Okay, so the first page I've actually just taped in a little postcard here of a model named Misako Aoki, Lolita fashion model, and I haven't really filled much in here, but I'll probably do a quote or something cool. Then I also taped in this quote, which says, "Today is a great day to begin again." Thought it was fitting for the start of my journal, and it was kind of November color scheme. This was actually some packaging from something, and I just taped it there, reused it. Okay, and now we have my index. So I just stuck some washi down, and what I did here was I used my Le Pen in pink to draw the border. So I just drew over the lines that were already there, and then I used my Papermate Replay, which is an erasable pen, to draw in the actual words. And I actually colored this a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but I did some pink, just really clear. And that was my Marvy marker. They look like this, and I got that at Michael's. So it's I have Tombos now, but I didn't have them at the time when I just started my journal. So that's what I did. I decided to color in the month name in purple. Write it in purple so that it would stand out to me. But as you can see, I'm really far into my index already, and I only have 2 months. So I don't know if that was the best thing to do, but it's okay. Hopefully I have enough room in the index, because I'm only at page 67 now. But I'm not going to really fill up this journal all the way. I really want to keep it just to November and December, and then I'll use the rest of it as pen test, and it'll just be like my pen test journal, or like anything else I need that I don't want in my main journal, because I'd like to start a fresh one for January. Okay, and here's my key. I just looked up keys on Google and took inspiration from various different keys, and I made this one myself. This is not my design though, the lettering for the word key. That's pretty commonly used in bullet journals. Nothing original there. I used the same signifiers for my key as Ryder Carroll, so pretty straightforward. The only thing is I actually do use half of an X for like a task in progress. I didn't put that there. And I have a quote: "Love the life you have while you create the life of your dreams." Okay, and here is my future log. So I actually don't really use this as a traditional future log. As you can see, I haven't put anywhere to write in any appointments. I haven't colored any birthdays or anything. I really just use this so that when I'm making my trackers and things, okay, that wasn't a tracker, but when I'm making different monthly pages, I have a reference so I know where the days are. I know which one's Mondays and Tuesdays without having to look on my computer or something. And what I did here was I just wrote out everything in my pens, because when I started my journal I only had these replay pens, so I even used that for the titles. And then later on I went back with my Marvy pens and I colored in the rest, and I actually did use some Tombos. So I just have the Tombow Brights, and I use this purple one for the tops, doing a little gradient. And I have some quotes. So, "Enjoy the journey," "Courage is forward motion despite your fear," and "Don't let fear hold on a minute longer." This is actually the second part of a quote. The first part I didn't like so much. And I just wrote "Happy Bujoing" and stuck some washi down. Okay, so here's where I keep my bookmark, because this is, the month I'm on, still on November. Today's the 27th. So I've got my cover page for November. I drew a little deer. This is not original. I based it off of a drawing of a deer I found online, but I did alter it, made it my own. I just used the Le Pens to draw her, which are these here. And then I colored her in using these ones, the Marvy brush pens. And then the November title itself and the arrow are just my Papermate replays, and I colored them with, colored the November a little bit, if you can see the green in there, and the arrows and stuff with my Marvies. Okay, and then here's just my log. It's pretty straightforward. I did mark off the sick days, days off, paydays, and what was like an important thing for me in the margin. Okay, now we have Wellness Health Tracker. I took this from Ohio Bento on YouTube. Basically, every single day I rated from 1 to 5 my happiness, my calmness, productivity, how sleepy I was, and how I felt. So like if I was sick or if I had a headache or something. And I find it actually really useful because it's so correlated. And here I was just planning to come back and fill in what my totals were for each month so I could compare as a monthly way. And you know, it was kind of, the reason I put November, December, January, February is because it matched here. But I don't think I'm going to have all those months in this journal, so I don't know if I'll actually end up coming back to this journal to fill in January and February. We'll see. Next I have, oh yeah, I wanted to say this was all done using my Pilot Wing Gel or Wing Gel pens. And they actually do shadow quite a bit, as you can see when I did the dots. But I'm sure if I filled this out, you wouldn't really be able to tell. This is just what packages I had coming, and I crossed them out once I got them. Here's my habit tracker, very, very standard. Please don't judge me for like not flossing enough or whatever. I'm trying my best. I will improve. Yes. Next, we have social media stats. I got the idea from Ohio Bento. She was actually doing a pregnancy tracker, and she used these same pictures as her countdown, but I kind of repurposed them, and I'm using them as milestones for my social media. So every time I reach a certain thing, I'm going to color it in, and I left some space for more, but considering this journal is just 2 months worth, I'll probably just have to come back and put a quote here or something. I'm not going to ever reach 600 in this journal. And then I did a meal tracker. So I didn't really like how it was so mix-matchy in the color scheme. I do change that up and make it more, pretty next time. But what I did was I just did breakfast, lunch, dinner, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and weekend, because I didn't think I'd be tracking that well on the weekend. I didn't think I would remember like what was Saturday, what was Sunday really. I didn't think I would be going to my journal, but I did. So later on, I definitely do actually write in Saturday and Sunday. And I did steal this bar that I've drawn here from somebody, but I forget who. I'll just make annotation if any time I forget to say, what pens I use. For example, here, I think this was the black Le Pen. And these are various either Le Pens or my Papermate replays. Okay, this is a time tracker. This is probably my favorite page. It's so useful to me to be able to see how much I slept. As you can see, it's always something new. I really don't have a routine in my life. So I track my sleep when I was work 9 to 5 job, streaming, and exercise, which obviously isn't very much, but I was not exercising at all before November. Not since the last year. So I had to get back into that, and it'll come slowly, but I know I'll get there. Next, saving my way to 25K. This is actually where it started. It hasn't gone up. Eventually it might go up. I don't know. It's kind of struggle to even keep it there, right? But I took this idea from someone. I'll put an annotation for who originally made that. Okay, and now I have shopping wish list and some priority signifiers, to-do lists, to-dos again. Goals, so these were my big goals, not for the year, not for the month, just in general. One of them is my Miracle Morning. I discovered that. That's from Hal Elrod. He wrote it. I haven't read the book, but I wanted to try it. I thought it sounded like a great idea to have some silence, affirmations, visualization, scribing, reading, and exercising every day. I really started doing a lot of this. Obviously, I don't do everything every single day, but I've been making a lot of progress. This 30-day affirmation challenge is from Brian Tracy. I just copied it into my journal. I thought this would help me with the affirmation part of my day, and I have been sticking to it. I have gone to one of these affirmations every single day. Today's 26. But I honestly don't think it's been helping me at all. I haven't really noticed the difference at all. But maybe I just need to write my own affirmations. Gratitude log, again, I have been sticking to this, but it hasn't been helping me. So I did put a gratitude log in for December. I'm going to try it again. Maybe I just need to exhaust some of my obvious things I'm happy for so that it takes a little bit more thinking before I start liking it. But I'm not going to continue with the affirmations. And as you can see, the 27th is here already, so I'm going to have a lot of space left. I'll probably just put a quote or something. And this green is my Le Pen green. The rest are Papermate replays, and I actually used those Marvy brush markers to color in this at the top, which is the same I did here, and I forgot to say here. Okay, exercise log. As you can see, I really liked how these headings were turning out, so I did them a couple times. I didn't exercise much, like I said, but I'm trying to be better. These are some coupon codes for Etsy shops. Feel free to use them. I don't think they're one-time use, and I don't really shop for stickers anymore, so go ahead. Meal tracker, I liked it a lot better with a uniform color. I just wanted the title to pop a bit more, which I do fix later. Here, what happened was I had some bleed-through problems, so I just stuck washi over because I had done this little doodle, and it bled through a lot, so I just covered it up, and I really like this page. It turned out great. Here, this is a mistake that I taped 2 pages together, because what I'd done was I had a Saturday dailies and a Sunday dailies, and I just wrote them out in this ugly color, and I just really didn't like it. I had never done dailies before, and it was just made me sad to look at, so I taped it together so I wouldn't have to see it anymore. I really didn't think I would be using dailies at all in this journal. I thought that they weren't going to help me. I was using an Erin Condren planner at the time, and honestly, my bullet journal has completely taken over. I don't even look at my Erin Condren, so I have started doing dailies now. This is the list of the teas I have in my shelf in my kitchen, and it's a lot easier to just have a list here I can reference when I decide what tea to make, because I don't have to bring them all down from the shelf. The only thing is I really don't like the colors or like the design of this page. I wanted to try out using black because it's really popular, and it's probably the most common thing to do is to have a minimalistic black pen bullet journal, but yeah, it didn't work for me. I need color. And here we are back to color, so I have a quote, take a reading break. I have a list of books I want to read, and this was actually all Tombow pens. Actually, that's a lie. I used Tombows, but I also did use some of my Marvies. And I just used a white Sakura jelly roll for the swirls on the clouds, and this is my replay, Papermate replay. So it did bleed through a lot, and I decided simply to draw the clouds again on the next page, and I didn't have a purpose for this page. It doesn't even have a title. What I did was, this is a movie I want to watch. I figured I'd fill it with movies to watch, and I don't have any. There's no movies I want to watch. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. I can try and make use of this page. And then I have A to Z about me, or A to Z. I just have every letter except Y and Z because I was silly and didn't space it out. If I had moved everything up, it would have fit, but yeah, just one thing for each letter about me. This is my first ever daily spread. I did really like it because, as you can see, I used it really well, except for that day. And it wasn't that I didn't use it, there just wasn't anything going on. And then I had one box extra, so I just put some notes. Here are some notes from a book I was reading called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In the book, it told you to write down what you want in life, so I just wrote it down. Here, I took a personality test. It's actually called Hexaco, developed by the University of Calgary. I really encourage you to go take it, and I put my results here so that maybe in a few years I could take it again and see how they changed. Or, you know, even if I don't take it again, it's just nice to see them here so I don't have to try and remember, or I can always reference back to it, I guess. Here I wanted to write down what I've accomplished in the last 5 years, but I really couldn't think of more than that, and I was sad. I thought I would have like a whole page worth, but I didn't. Meal tracker with the nice pink title. I really like this one. YouTube video ideas. Not much to say there. I layered 2 washes for that. November favorites list and a shopping list. Cyber Monday stores that I'd like to shop at. That's this Monday. And some more dailies. Here's a quote that I screwed up. Quote is actually, the chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. And I wrote strong twice, which basically ruins the quote, but it's okay. I had some hearts down here, and they were really ugly, and they also bled through, or they shadowed a lot. So I put some washi just to cover that up. Here I was watching a YouTube video which recommended I write down a list of selfish and selfless motivations I have. So things that I want, things that I strive for, I guess. And here's just another quote I liked. Every minute spent worrying about the way things were is a moment stolen from creating the way things can be. By the way, both of these quote pages were just my Tombos. Okay, here, this is actually this week's meal tracker. This is today, it's not finished. As you can see, I smudged that. I don't know how that happened, but what I would do to fix a smudge, if it's not an erasable pen, I just put some white out like that, and you can't even tell. I colored the titles here using my Tombos, and then I used this Tombow blending brush, which is just clear, to blend everything together as a nice gradient. I think it looks really nice, but you have to be careful not to make your page too wet or it actually bleeds, like not just shadows, it really bleeds. And then here are my dailies. Even though that's this week's meal though, this is not this week's daily. This is today. I'm going to hold the page so that white out can dry, but here is a new way to do my dailies, you know, horizontally instead of in little boxes. I really liked this so far. I haven't filled these out because I actually do them the day of. And these are Tombos again. And it just says, too soon old, too late smart. And I decorated this actually with my new pens. I just recently got these Pilot friction pens, so that's what I used for the flowers and stuff on this spread. Okay, next I have to keep, so this is just some dashboards for pages I used in November that I'd like to do again for December. And then currently, so this is actually near the end of the month, I just did this page the other day. And it says what I was reading, listening to, watching, eating, what a video game I was playing in the month of November. And then my last spread for November is November review. So I put down some things I accomplished, some things I want to do better in the future happenings. So like, I guess things I wanted to write down that happened this month. And then the end of the month, what my stats are. This is actually a erasable pen. I know it's not the end of the month yet, it's still the 26th, so, but I can actually change that. And this was all done using my Pilot wind gels for the border and the titles. This is Tombow brush pen, and the actual writing is my Papermate Replay. And this is just specifically about my bullet journal review, so things I'd like to tweak for my bullet journal, things to add for next time, next month. And then this quote, mortals in all that they fear and immortals in all that they desire. And that's it. I guess I'll give you a little sneak preview of December, but I'm gonna do a new video for December. So, oh yeah, and I guess I can show you just the end of my journal. I have this, these stickers, Pokemon stickers at the back, and a clip with another postcard of Misako Aoki. This is just so that I can hold my pens. I like to actually take 2 pens with me, this blue and this purple. That's what worked for November anyway, so what I would do is I would stick one in here, and then when I had my elastic all closed up, then I could stick this into the, I could stick this into the top of the elastic like that, and have my 2 pens. But I actually carry my planner around in this. It says my name on it. I actually bring it to work and stuff in that, so I can actually fill it with as many pens as I want, but it's okay. I still like to use that clip. And I carry receipts in the pouch. Then I have these Post-its, and what I use those for is when I'm planning out where I want my pages to go, then I just stick them on and I save them again in the back, because then I can reuse them like when I'm planning February or January. I can always reuse them because these pages are ones that I do, well, that I plan to do all the time. Here I just measured out how many boxes things are, and then I have my pen test at the back. And that's it. I know that when, you know, by the time December is done, I might be like here, and then I'll have all this left of the journal, but I don't want to do January in here. I'll just save it for if I have more pen tests to do or anything else in the future I want to do. I do actually have a different journal. I use this Rhodia journal just as a washi collection. And then I use this Erin Condren journal for, I do collections in here that I want to keep basically forever, because there are certain collections I don't see the point in writing them in my quarterly bullet journal. I want to have them forever, and I don't like the idea of having to transfer them all the time to new journals whenever I run out of space. So that's what this one's for. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me some comments, and like my video if you liked it. Bye!